Boom! You don't know a cool as BG check in with another hit. Can we never miss? Don't ask me cookie because she's not there. You see?
I'm here!
She's in the background. So as you see from the title, I never really tell a whole lot of people say you know, me is a healthcare worker, but I just feel like we make one know with 2020, the pandemic, everything. So we have my guy in the background, my wife know that behind the scenes. I'm gonna ask me a couple questions and I'm gonna answer them. I'm gonna hear what one. How is it?
Yup, you better big up Kellan.
Is it? So big up visual by Kellan. Ref Caribbean. You see me? Follow him on Instagram. I'm gonna put him in Instagram thing right this. Remember, hit the subscribe button. Is it? Look at all the fans them. So I'm generally ready?
Yeah, man.
All
Alright, cool. So first things first, bro. How long have you been a healthcare worker?
March coming will be 2 years.
And what was the job like prior to COVID?
Prior to COVID, it was no mask. Only when you go in a certain room. Like if you're going in a room and they say seeded, that was seeded and the next disease. I can't remember the name. It's Kanga or something they didn't pronounce it. But when you buy the Lysol and you buy the bleach wipes, it on it. That's what we use. The Clorox wipes, the peroxide and the bleach. That's what we use and kill the virus. So prior to COVID, it was no mask. Everything did normal. Only if you're going in an airborne room, you're going in a contact room, then let's say you have to wear a mask. Or if you're working in the pharmacy, like that's the way they make the IV, you think them for the IV, that's the way you put on a mask. So that it was different, you know. Yeah.
Awesome. Alright, hold on 1 second. I'm gonna just get her to just take some pictures of this real quickly so you can see what I'm up to. Alright, cool. Now describe your job so people understand like your role in the hospital, so they'll have an understanding of like what you had to deal with before the COVID. So
our role is environmental service, right? So we already know what environmental service means. Our job is to keep the environment clean. Good. We are the person that will fight the disease. We're the person that will clean everything, the surface, the garbage. You have to make sure you know keep the hospital clean. We change when, for example, when they put the IV inside of you, and the nurses, when they put the IV inside there and the nurse then they take it out, they can't just put it in a regular bin because it's a needle inside it. So they have to put it in a red container. So we are the people that we remove that. When it's full, we remove that. We put back a new one and then reusable.
Awesome. All right, cool. So the next thing is when the COVID situation started happening, like prior to having the rise in the death rates and all these different things, like when you guys got aware that the COVID situation was happening, what was like the situation in the hospitals before it got like really out of control?
So when it just started, right? When it just started, everybody that watching news and you see China build a hospital in a 10-day, and you know it's like wonder if they'll come to America, and you know, and the hospital didn't prepare. Definitely where I work, New York Presbyterian. I'm not gonna say the location, but I work at New York Presbyterian. So they made that prepare, like they literally that prepare, they made that watch. First they were saying in an airborne, maybe it's an airborne, but they made that prepare, like you know, but we also want and every hospital have every equipment because you already know the world depends on China when it comes to equipment. So when the first case that they got, they tested someone, but they was waiting for the results. And I remember I saw that person and I was in shock. I remember that day. That was the first person everybody knew. The transporter brought the patient and the nurse, and they brought the patient on the ICU unit. And me I tell you, say, yo, that was like, yo, you know, when I see everything. Imagine seeing that, it's like, yo, this thing really there now. Really, really there. And them time they were still never wearing a mask. The mask thing never come out yet. Wear a mask. So it's like, you know, it's just, you have to just stay far. You have to wonder if what gonna happen.
And did your work schedule become like more hectic? Like, were they more dependent on you guys? Did you get like, did it get to the point basically where you realized that you was going to be at that hospital a lot more than you were prior to the situation getting out?
Yeah, it become more hectic, to be honest, because that time the supervisor them, they want you to they were, you know, overtime was, you could get overtime from in the morning, the evening, the night. So overtime was no big deal. You know what I'm saying? Is they needed everyone stacked. You know what I'm saying? Once they get that.
Yeah.
So stack. Everybody was has to be there stacked. Once they can make it, them happy. I remember, them hire like some temps for help out. Like they had extra nurse, them have extra doctor, them have extra environmental service worker, them have extra transport, them have everybody, them have extra. Everybody with them that pull, like even the surgeon them, the doctor them with the surgery and the nurse them with the surgery. There was no surgery going on, so them would have to leave, like, you know, the critical area and come help, you know, the ER, go up on the floor, cause the help is needed wherever it need.
So now, after that whole situation happens, where you guys are now fully aware that COVID is like New York, and you know, and I believe the first place in America that actually had the COVID case was in Rochelle, in New York.
Yeah, Rochelle. Yeah,
upstate, right?
Uh-huh.
Right.
New
So,
Rochelle.
Your hospital, like, what was the situation like as far as you know, their availability for patients? Like give us an idea of like what that was like, so that people could have an understanding like what you guys had to deal with as far as people are coming into the hospital.
People
right?
was coming in,
and there was like no beds because obviously.
Exactly. So that's the main thing. No matter what, the hospital cannot tell you say you cannot come. They have to take you. Even if they're not no bed, them can't tell you say, oh, you gotta stay. You can't come in, because we already know that God. Them have to accept it no matter what. But it was where a point that they had to put people outside of the room, because them have to wait. People just keep coming. The emergency room stack is on both sides. Patient line off on this side and this side. When you go up on the floors, the rooms are full. It's only 2 patients in a room, and outside them have to line off, because what? Them not have no bed. Them have to, certain places they have to open new place just to accept patient. It did crazy. It did crazy. Me remember, like, we'd have to wear scrubs. Everybody wears scrubs. You wear an ear net, you wear the N95, you wear a goggles or an eyeglass, a face shield, and then you wear a regular mask over your N95, right? And you wear a gown, and literally I never wear no uniform, or just scrubs. And you wear a shoe cover for your foot, because you're shocked. You don't know what the virus is. You don't know what, and you have to go into the room. For example, all the environmental service worker them, you have to, when you go prepare the room for your next patient, you have to spend at least 30 minutes in the room. So I remember one time I go in a room and I go bed 2 and a patient in a bed 1, and I can literally, it's like me just know so the person now go make it. Because that's the way them a breathe, and it's like, and it's like, you say shit. The person not gonna make it, you know. You see it, you did the experience a see it. So the person not gonna make it is like, Channel Star. You feel it, because you hear the person a breathe, and it's like them a fight for them breath. It's like them a fight, you know. And it terrorizing, to be honest, you know. It did shocking, you know. It's like, yo, this thing really there now.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy. So now you're at this point and you're seeing all of these people coming into the hospital, and there's basically almost no beds available to people that's coming in. When did you start realizing that people was dying in large amounts of numbers? Like, explain that experience when you started seeing how many bodies were being taken out of the hospital.
Or when I realized the death rate is when one day I went to work, and then I outside, because I know some video go viral, right? A certain amount of video go viral with like people take picture and say, oh look, they got trucks outside I saw that definitely for myself. Them have truck outside. Like first it left from 1 truck to 2 truck to 3 truck to 4 truck. That make you know it's serious. 4 truck because the morgue or the hospital have maybe like 10 body or 15 body can hold a night. Them not have no space at all for the body. None. So that's when me realize like yo, people are dead like crazy. And then the transport to them or transport the patient. Like them when they go on break and they might tell like, yo, I came in at 3 today and the only thing I've been doing is just body, morgue. And it's like people just are dead. And then when you hear over the ear like every minute is a rapid response team. That make you know say somebody in danger. It's like, you know, and it left to a point where the doctor them never even know what to do. At one point I see doctor them and it's like they don't know what to do because them are try to understand the virus. So it's like people are dead, but them are try to go in the room, but them now not gone because one time the gun them did shot. So it's like them are going to risk themselves when they already know the person at a death risk. So it's like, what we gonna do?
That's crazy, man.
You
so
know?
it's 4 trucks.
Yeah, it left from 1 to 4.
So 4 trucks, and how many bodies was each truck able to carry?
I think it was like 5. I think it was like what 500.
500?
No, not 5. Maybe I think it was like 200 or something. They said like that.
Wow.
But that's a lot of people.
Hold on a second.
And the truck it's like them get the truck. I get a trip per day. So today the truck I get a trip and it gone and it got let off and the truck come. So this truck is parked here. So when this one full, this one gone, this one come down, and then the one that come back. So you just go in line.
So how many times per day would you say bodies were being transported from the hospital? If there's 4, if there's 4 trucks, right, and all of them is filled with bodies, each truck did 1 round of transportation or like 2?
I would say 2.
That's,
to be honest, I would say 2.
That's
because it was crazy.
Bro.
People was dying. I remember I was in the ER, and this guy was like, "Hey, can you call the nurse for me?" I was like, "All right." I said to the nurse, "There's a patient calling," you know. So I make a circle, and by the time I come back around, him out, gone.
Damn.
That made me realize, like, nah, the virus is serious. And most of the poor people that are more older, like just like what they say in the news, the people that are more older. And some people talk like, oh, the virus not real, and blah 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 and blah blah blah. Them talk bullshit. Because the virus real up to this day. The virus isn't a joke. It's no joke. I experienced everything. I see everything. Them not when some don't make nobody tell them, oh, they counting other people dead and it's not COVID. That's a lie. That is a lie because I'm seeing it all. And people wearing a mask and a joke thing.
So was it, explain the atmosphere as far as the emotions, because I can imagine it being very hectic and everyone is like emotional. Explain what that was like from your perspective.
From my perspective.
Because if I was there and I'm seeing all of this, I would have probably got emotional, man. Seeing people die left, right, and center, and just bodies just being piled up in a truck, bro. Like, I mean, just thinking about it, you know, it's just crazy to even like to just think that's really like the stage that we're at, you know, with this virus. So from your perspective, explain like how were you feeling seeing all these bodies being taken out of the hospital and people just literally dying left and right next to you as you're doing your job. Like, what was your mindset basically like at that point in time?
My mindset was just to be strong, you know.
Like, were you fearful for your life? Because, you know, you're
I wasn't fear. A lot of time, like, even if me even wake up, I'ma feel my throat, like, just tickling me. Like if I wake up, I'ma be like, I'ma think like, oh, may I have the virus? May I have COVID? Do I have COVID? Yes? No? Maybe so? You know, it's like, You know, it's like me I start think a whole heap of thing, like the clothes I'm wear when I go outside. If my body, if my neck even scratch me, I fret. I wonder if I catch the virus. I wonder if I bring the virus home. Me have a young son. You know, I wonder if I catch the virus. If I ever bring the virus home, give to his mother. Like, you know, a whole heap of stuff that go through my head. I wonder like, yo, come here, see people are dead every day. But then, you know, I just be like, yo, you know, this is how I'm sign up for. Because at the end of the day, once you sign up to be a healthcare worker, you go to the hospital, you're going to see death. You know, it's not something where you can see like, oh, I want to work in the hospital and don't expect, say, you're not going to experience death. You just be a regular day and you probably walk up on the floor and you probably see no push a dead body. You're not going to see the body live, but the body in a body bag. But you already know, say, that is a dead body. So, what you going to do? You have to just do what you have to do. I mean, you have to just stay strong and just no say, yo, we have to take it on, you know. We have to do it regardless of what. I never catch the virus. Yeah, a lot of co-workers have catch the virus. So I give thanks I never catch it. I know, and I feel if who catch it, I feel if who lost somebody. And I feel like a lot of people, them wait until a family member them catch it. And them say, oh yeah, the virus real. Alright, yeah, COVID real, blah blah blah. And the government this, and the government that, blah 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 blah. But what you gonna do?
Understood, man. So at the end of the day, the biggest lesson that you've learned from this pandemic and your experience as a healthcare worker, what would be the number one takeaway basically that you will tell anyone when it comes to, you know, this virus or just any virus in general? Like, what's the number one thing you think?
Science is real. Science is real. Believe science. That's the thing. That's listen, believe in a science. Because if they say they're experimenting something and this is how it goes, believe it. Some people have to say, oh, science is fiction, blah 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 blah. Science real. And you know, the virus, it showed me how even we ourselves as human can create something and it get out of control. Because every virus, every disease, human beings like we, flesh, skin and bone, create it. But it does get out of control. And if I expect that, then probably experiment something and they get out of control. And it's like, you know? So, believe in the science. Believe in the science. Don't listen to the person that comes on the news and say, oh, don't wear no mask, blah 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 blah. They say this now and they say this now, because it's not easy to experiment something. So ask a scientist, ask an infectious disease doctor, ask them, question them, ask them like, yo, so how long did it take? It take them days to experiment. Even up to now, every hospital have an infection control office where them have all that doctor them for them job adjust for just study disease and virus. That's all them do every day. Them are a doctor we can check you and tell you say if you're sick or not. Them just study disease and virus. And it and a 1, 2, 3 and bam, them know about the virus. It take them a while, you know, it take them a while like for look into the virus, study the virus, know about this. Remember one time they were saying, oh, go in the sunlight and will kill the virus. And then now when the virus reach in the Caribbean, we know always hot, everybody I think like, so what is this about? Them will say, you know, going in the sun, but yet still the virus there, Jamaica the virus there, Cuba the virus there, Trinidad the virus there, St. Kitts the virus there, yes so in the Guyana, you know.
See, well, with that being said, man, I want to thank you for your time. I think you put a lot of insight you gave us a lot of insight as far as like what it's like there in your perspective as a healthcare worker working through a crazy pandemic, man. So again, thanks for your time, bro.
Thank you for everybody for listening. Be safe. Wear your mask. If you want to take the vaccine, it's your decision. I won't tell you what I'm doing. It's your decision if you want to take the vaccine. Nobody can force you to take it. So, if you want to take it, you take it. Alright? Stay blessed. Wear a mask.